All right, new things came in. There's a trunk mat and carpet. 64 Comet, Caliente. Still making carpets for that. Let's double check that we got the right one. Matches this invoice here. Better check it. Make sure it's for a 64 Comet. All right, unboxing. Imagine that. Jute, pieces of carpet, looks like the back. Looks like the front. Driver's mat there. As you're supposed to do, lay that out so that it warms up. Look, right in the middle of it all. Carpet mat. All right, oops, already got feet prints on it. But yeah, I chose that nice dark carpet for the back. A lot of times it's houndstooth, but thought that would look nice. And the carpet for the inside. 2 pieces, edge just like original. That's heat treated right on there, sewn around the edge. Some pieces of thread sticking out here. Pretty sure they didn't vacuum this after they did their work. Oh, there's a nice big scratch there too. Why is that there? Huh. Uh-oh, I don't like that. Why is there a giant scratch there? All right, we got that floor cleaned all out, and we're going to put in the sea foam carpet. Full 60s action here. Look at that. So that gets tucked into the front seat, which is loose, and then this part is molded. Gets under there. And we'll do some trimming as well. See that molded part fits right under there, and you got to trim this edges here. So let's tuck that in. See if we can get the front underneath the seat. Go ahead and take the seat out. Would be nice. Get a little bit more forward there. There we go. Look on the other side there. As you can see, I got my pads on the sides, over the sides of the car. All right. Do this without kicking the camera around. And then there's, of course, holes in the floor where the seats go. Got to go through the carpet underneath there. And there's a couple different ways to do that. I usually try to do it with something hot for sure, like a a soldering iron. That works really good. Some people will cut it with a knife, but that can lead to runs in the carpet, especially in a looped carpet. So you want to make sure you're careful there. So here we go. This is all tucking in nicely. See where it fits there. You can actually see, look at the corners and over there. Same on this side here. Let me get you out of the stand here. Check out the molded parts there. I mean, look at that. That's not just sitting there. That's been molded at the factory to meet those little spots. Frame rails in the corners. So only part that looks like it needs to be trimmed is right here in the corner around this piece. So I want to get that back seat down and around there first and let it sit for a while. Make sure it's exactly the right spot, and then we'll trim that. Front seat right back, put in the front carpet. Check it out, folks. Check out that beautiful teal interior. Is that something? Look at the back. Nice and cozy. Looking pretty good up front. All right, let's give these seats another clean, and then we'll start getting these seats, the holes done, burned into the carpet, and install the nuts and bolts. So I bought some Mother's VLR vinyl leather rubber, clean, conditions, and protects. 3-in-1 surface care. Well, we'll see. I don't know how much of a cleaner it can be if it's also doing the other stuff there. Does say on it something to the effect of quickly and easily cleans, conditions, and protects. Directions: spray onto a soft cloth, terry cloth. Careful not to overspray onto plastics, painted trim, or window tint. See what kind of job I can do on this dirty back rest here. Seem to be doing a bit of a job. I don't know if it's as tough as something specifically made for cleaning, like spray 9. Let's try the spray 9 and see what difference that makes. Alright, here's spray 9, and of course I already did some with that, so this is already at a bit of an advantage. Oh, the spray 9 takes that dirt off pretty good. Yeah, we better start with spray 9 and we'll use that for a secondary cleaner, like I thought, and conditioner. Look at that, what a difference. I'll do the before and after. Oops, what am I looking at? Not even looking at the part that I'm doing there. I was doing the bottom there, the crack. While I'm giving these seats a second clean, those carpets are going to settle down more. Keep forming before I have to trim them. Alright, a few things you want to try. Warm water with some cleaner on these threads and edges, all the piping. But these seats are very, very dirty. Been many years sitting outside, and then they were covered with a tarp, so lots of moisture and mold, and then you know, it all went through bodywork, so tons and tons of dust and dirt settled on top of everything. So this is already my second go around. I did once with the apple cider vinegar, and now I'm doing once with the spray 9 and a little scrub brush, a couple different kinds of rags that you need. This one's already gotten dirty from doing most of it. It's just kind of a tough J cloth, and then this one's a little softer. It's got more of a terry feel to it, synthetic terry, and then you want a dry cloth, dry it up. Get right into the cracks. You may have to do things several times if it's this dirty. And this seat has a bit of a tear here, so I'm going to try to soften this up so that we can get an upholsterer to pull that tight and see if you can't sew that. If not, I'm going to put a little patch in there. But again, the cleaner the better to start with. And of course, this is Survivor. Survivor restorations are actually in vogue now because it's only original once, right? Whereas I've done lots of, complete restorations where everything's brand new, they made it. I've done brand new leather over vinyl, leather instead of vinyl, seat covers on that Dodge Challenger. I did, vinyl replacements on the 240, Datsun 240Z and the 69 Camaro. And then this one here is, Survivor. Only original once. This stuff here is 60 years old. So the Galaxy was all original interior too. I think I mentioned that in another video. It only needed a little repair on the driver's chair, like this one. All right, I think I've got most of this. I'm going to let it dry and then I'm going to hit it with that Mother's cleaner conditioner. See if that shines it back up, brings it back to life. All right, let's get this trunk cleaned up and put the mat in and start putting some parts on. Typical, likely asbestos and if not gross stuff, containing stuff that you scrape off. And then look at this. Notice this tank is actually in really good shape, but for some reason, some moisture was being held right here, and started rusting that spot off. So I'm not sure why. That's got a little rust on there. Get in a little closer here. There we got some rust. We'll have to put some of our metal ready on there, and then give it a shot of silver to match the natural color of this galvanized tank. That tank was cleaned and it's absolutely empty. Put back in, and once we find the keys, we can finish up this neck. You just need to put 4 bolts in there. Somewhere the keys are lost in transit, but I'm hopeful we'll find them. So let's keep scraping this. All right, so like I said, first thing I want to do is get this rust treated here. This tank is galvanized, but look at that. Something was sitting there while it was in storage, and obviously it was wet, or got wet, or got dripped on, or something, and it just ate that bit away. Look at that. That's not good. It's definitely not through anywhere. I don't think it's going to compromise it, but definitely want to stop it, treat it, and then paint this tank so that it looks like a tank's supposed to look. And I do have actual gas tank treatment paint. So let's put this metal prep on. I mentioned it in the last videos, from POR 15, and it's phosphoric acid, of course, that turns rust oxide, which is the red stuff, into rust oxide, which is a black inert substance that you can then paint right over. But anyways, give it a good soak. If you can recall, I was trying to do those tail lights, piece of chrome for the windshield surround, and I just soaked some paper towel in it and left it on there. All right, one last thing for today. I'm going to finished touching up the cracks in the paint. I actually already started. So I put some on yesterday, and you can still see where the paint has delaminated. That's the original paint coming up there. And I put a coat underneath so I can get it tacky. And now this time I'm going to put another coat, and I'm going to try to get these bits to stick down first, see if we can't save that paint on there. And here's a bit I haven't finished yet. I'll finish it today. The edge here, I've touched up top bit of this. And so right now I'll just touch up the rest here. And then down here is we started putting this metal prep on this pan already, this gas tank that's in here. And you can see, look how it's already starting to work there, turning white. First it turns white, that's the chemical reaction happening of the phosphoric acid on the rust, on the oxide, and then that'll turn black. And you'll want to wipe any excess white off. Give it another wet down here. All right, we'll leave that on there to soak. Then we might do a second application, see how black it's gotten. If not, if it's not all black, then we'll do another application. Then dry it off, wipe it off with some solvent remover, solvent cleaner, and then put a primer, and then that gas tank paint. All right, let's get in real close here. This approved paint. It says right on there. Can you read that? Approved. All right, let's go back and do that bottom bit. On the quarter panel. Now that was just one coat yesterday. I'm going to build that up and see if I can't save that edge. Here. Okay, we're going to leave it like that. Another coat on tomorrow, and then we'll do some wet sanding. That was a big chip. See if we can save it. All right, check it out. We are back in the trunk zone here, and these are the items we are going to use. First of all, a little bit more light. Yeah, a little more light would help. All right, so anyways, first thing we're going to do is use the Marine Clean here. That's also from that POR 15 company, POR 15. Restomotive, maybe that's the company. It's actually called Restomotive. And that's the makers of POR 15. I've been calling the company POR 15, POR 15, but that's actually the paint, the rust paint. It's actually called Restomotive. And that's in Morristown, New Jersey. Although the website is por15.com. Anyways, this is a cleaner and degreaser that they also sell, and I would guess they would suggest that you use it to clean this stuff first, and then we're going to use the solvent as I usually do. This is a light final wipe solvent for your paint, and then we're going to use Tank Tone. This is actually, it's a little shinier than I like, but we're just going to dust it on and see if we can't emulate a tank color. Of course, we're going to mask it all off before we do that. And right, this stuff here is diluted 1 to 10 up to 1 to 2. So I'm just going to put a drop in here. I have a little bit of this. You know what? I'm going to actually change this up. All right, I'm back, and I've gotten fresh water here. It says to use the hotter the better, so I put a little hot water in there. I'm going to use just a dribble of this because 1 to 10 to 1 to 2 isn't very much. So how about that? No more. There we go. So we'll give this a bit of a wipe around. All right, check this little masker I have. tape and the paper at the same time. And if you don't stick it together while you're doing that, you can stick it like I just done. Ooh. Come on, Ed. You can do it. Just got a little cutter here too. Cut it off. There we go. That, go like that. Don't go straight. If you pull it out straight, it might work. That. Then you unfold it nicely. I guess. And not unfold the plastic. Just stick it down with the tape like that. So we'll get a piece of that on. Now this one's going to be tricky. Yeah, that's all I know. Because it's going to go underneath that thing there. So, still folded. Down there. Alright, I think I've got her. Let that dry up. As you can see, I got it very well covered. I got some old blankets and towels around the edges there, and I hung that black one down long enough so that it kind of covers the plastic, and then the overspray can go past it that way. So, giving this a good shake. I'm going to give it a little. All right, so I think that's looking pretty good. The corrosion pitting that you see there is probably not going to show very well, or if at all. And of course, it's going to be under a mat. This is going to be under a jute cover. So this is really mostly for, you know, corrosion stopping ability and, you know, making sure that it looks good if, you know, if you do flip the cover over. Although whoever looks at their gas tank, and nonetheless, do want to do a good job and protect it from further rust and damage. And we'll let that dry before we go with the tank top. 1.5 cans of that. All right, well, while we're at it and we're on this side, might as well install this tail light. It's got a little shining up. The after I did WD-40, this rubber really softened up, so that's nice. Should seal nicely. It's almost like, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. It's almost like newish there. Yeah, I can feel that nice and rubbery. You might not be able to see that on the camera. Anyways, take my word for it. So, all labeled from years ago. Nuts and bolts that I pulled off. All right, so this get hooked up. So wait a minute, 4. Make sure I got the right 4. That's 4, and that's 4. A couple of 4s there. And once we get all this stuff hooked up and we start to going through it all, then I'll hook up a battery charger. So what I like to do is hook up a battery charger, just put it on 5 amps, and then you don't have to run a full battery through everything. And then you can see whether things are hooking up or not. And if something shorts or whatnot, doesn't burn it down, you can quickly unhook it or see what's going on. So those click in. Now I am noticing though that these might need a little repair. See that? Got something is jammed in there, so I'm gonna have to fix that before I hook the rest of it up. This has a middle bulb. Find the right spot. There's the gap right there for the top. Must be the backup bulb. Brake and tail light. I'll fix those ends right now. So remember the nice and shiny lenses that got repaired and done up. And then of course you want to make sure you buy an assortment of new screws. These are going to be body screws, the screws that go in the interior. I one time bought a whole kit for that Challenger that I did, and that really made a nice big difference. But make sure you don't drop these lenses when you go to put them back on or put them in. All with nice shiny screws. And then give it all the final buff. Do not use a power driver. Hopefully that's self-explanatory for anything like this. Let's give this a bit of a buff again. All the greasy fingerprints all over it. Clickety click. Put it back in here for the backup. Plug that one in. Find that gap again. Go to the top. There we go. Then plug in 1 and 2. Hook up 1 and 2 here. Of course, not a concours restoration once again. Trying to get it as nice as possible as a Survivor. Repainted Survivor. Saved car. I mean, it'd be nice if it didn't have those little blemishes there in the pot metal, but I think she looks pretty good otherwise. Can't tell if this was the broken one or the other one was a broken one. Which one did I glue and put back together? Alright, battery's almost dead here, so we're going to close this video out here. Grab all the little bits and pieces, tools, things in the trunk. Has a spot to go around the gas filler neck. It was on this side, so it's It's got a notch there for the spare tire. Goes over that side. Shine that spare tire all up nice. And then we let this relax down here. So that's what we got. Trunk pan, looking pretty dashing in there. The spare tire in there, all sorted out. Got the jack, original jack and everything over there. Got to get it cleaned up and painted. Bumper jack, old school. And of course, back end taillights are on. Got to get find the aluminum for that cover and the back chrome pieces all around there. That will be next. So here's where we're at. Back end a little bit coming together. Taillights, trunk done. Still clean up size kind of stuff done. Next we'll do is the glass regulators before we put the rest of the interior on. So I just did pull the regulators for the quarter windows out here on the bench. I'm going to clean these up and grease and oil them, make sure they're working well, make sure these plastics are in half decent shape that go in the channels. Grease it up and put it back together. All right, hope you enjoyed that part of the show, and we'll see you next episode.